I do.
They say, oh my God, I see the way you shine. Take your hand, my dear, and place them both in mine. You know you stopped me dead while I was passing by. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. Ooh, I see you every time. And oh my, I like your style. You make me wanna cry. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before.
expecting the worst. Are you gonna drop the bomb or not? Let us die young or let us live forever. We don't have the power, but we never say never. Sitting in a sandpit, life is a short trip. The music's for the sad man. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever, forever and ever? Forever young, I days when you need to fight, but the struggles help you see the light, see the light. The sun will set, so watch it fade. No two will ever be the same. Don't close your eyes, don't look away, 'cause it's supposed to feel this way. Tonight, today will disappear, and forever is a river that'll wash away the years. So try to take each moment slow. Just remember that for all we really know, there's one day left to go. Every road you take is open wide. There'll be valleys, there'll be mountains high. Either way, you know that you'll be fine. You'll be fine. The sun will set, so watch it fade. No two will ever be the same. Don't close your eyes, don't look away, 'cause it's supposed to feel this way. Tonight, today will disappear, and forever is a river that'll wash away the years. So try to take each moment slow. Just remember that we really know, one day left to go.
Everybody put your hands up.
Florida and the Bay members and guests, please welcome your 2023-2024 Florida and the Bay State Officer Team!
Everybody put your hands up. convention hall will come to order. We are now holding the 4th General Session of the 96th Florida FFA State Convention and Expo. Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations? I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Madam President. The parliamentarian.
Stationed by the eagle.
Your duties there?
The eagle is a symbol of freedom and guards the doors of justice. Those who pass through the doors of justice are guaranteed the rights and privileges of a democracy. Just as the eagle offers us a democratic way of life, so I strive to guarantee the rights of all to be heard and to reach a democratic verdict on all items of business. I help to maintain orderly meetings through correct parliamentary procedure wherever FFA members meet and business is transacted.
The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the president in maintaining order.
The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripen with wisdom. Madam Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is the symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
And why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is the token of a new era in agriculture. If we will follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Madam President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. This secretary will call the roll of members.
I am pleased to announce that at this, the 4th General Session of the 96th Florida FFA State Convention and Expo, there are 4,933 members and guests present, Madam President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here?
To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess.
May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this 4th General Session of the 96th Florida FFA State Convention and Expo duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented. Your Session 4 co-chairs are the epitome of production agricultural enthusiasts. Despite their shared love for cattle, these two don't always see eye to eye. If you are fortunate enough to stumble upon one of their conversations, you'll likely hear an argument over which is better, the iconic Got Milk campaign or the beloved Beef It's What's for Dinner campaign. Throughout this year, it's become obvious that one could devour an endless supply of Mexican cuisine while the other's appetite knows no bounds when it comes to hibachi food. Now, what you may not know is that both have some mad line dancing skills, but only if you can get them on the dance floor. So put your sunglasses on and get ready for these shining stars. Florida FFA, please help me welcome your Session 4 co-chairs, your Area 2 State Vice President, Mr. Hunter Sharp, and your State Secretary, Ms. Jenna Larson.
Most well-known, top-notch events of the year.
Yeah, I know. The Oscars look so much different than I thought it would.
No, Hunter. This isn't the Oscars. This is the 96th Florida FFA State Convention and Expo, the greatest event of the year.
Well, you have to admit, it's easy to get confused with the big crowds and all the famous people. Either way, this event is sure to impress.
Dust off your tux and get ready to live glamorously during this session. Just like the Oscars, we have lots to celebrate during tonight's program. This will surely be a night to remember. Hunter, why don't you give them a sneak peek?
Sure thing, Jenna. This is the session where we will hear the campaign speeches of our very own 2024-2025 state presidential candidates and recognize our stars of Florida as they bring their SAE projects to light.
But it doesn't end there. Tonight is all about living luxuriously. Our VIP list includes the Florida FFA Board of Trustees and Sponsors Council, Blue and Gold Award, and honorary degree recipients.
Tonight's star-studded event, as well as many other parts of our association, would not be possible without our sponsors. Tonight's session sponsors are not only a hardworking group of individuals who continue to push the industry forward each and every day, but they also hold a sincere connection to Jenna and I. While we might be movie stars tonight, we grew up around humble and hardworking mentors on cattle ranches. Spending our years in the saddle and being so closely connected to the Florida cattle industry, we recognize the hard work the men and women of the Florida Cattlemen's Association put forth every day to create a more sustainable future for agriculture while helping to feed the world. At this time, please direct your attention to the screen for a brief message from our sponsors of this session, the Florida Cattlemen's Foundation.
Hi, I'm Pat Durden, President of the Florida Cattlemen's Association.
I'm Dale Carlton, President-elect, Florida Cattlemen's Association.
We're proud to sponsor this session of the Florida FFA State Convention.
We're proud to support tomorrow's agriculture today.
Getting started every day. It's easy to appreciate being a Florida cowboy. All of us learn hard work early, and we're thankful we get to wear boots and a hat every day. Taking care of the land is one of the first things we learn. Respecting nature, keeping it just as we found it, preserving what's here, helping it thrive. Driving cattle like our granddaddies did. Taking care of the mama cows and their calves, making sure they find their way to the next green pasture. Watching over them, keeping them healthy. Working with honest folks, people you can end the day with around a good meal. Never taking any of it for granted, cherishing every day. We didn't choose this lifestyle, but we're sure glad it chose us.
And now, please help us welcome Mr. Pat Durden, President of the Florida Cattlemen's Association, to the stage.
Want you to see all of the lights.
Thank you, Hunter. Hey, I've never been more excited about Florida's agriculture's future as I am today here with you guys. And there's no better investment than we could have in supporting Florida FFA. And we're proud to be here with you this year finally. I think it's 2 or 3 years that we've been on top of each other with our conventions. And finally this year we get to attend yours, and you can attend ours next week, which is one thing I want you guys to help me with. So I don't know if you know, but my theme this year has been Cows Keep Florida Green. So I'm going to ask you guys to help me out a little bit with a little video we're going to try and do for next week's Florida Cattlemen's Convention. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our little lightsabers, and I think you can click it 5 times if it's off, and it'll go to green. And what we're going to do is this side of the room, from about the center here, is going to say, Cows Keep. And then what do you think the other side's going to say? There you go. We've got it. So if you're ready, we need every lightsaber. There's a guy with a purple one in the middle. We need you to fix that one. Come on, everybody. We got this. You ready? Cows keep. Cows keep. Cows keep. Florida green. Cows keep. Florida green. Cows keep. Florida green. Hey, thank y'all. Have a great session. We appreciate you. We love you. And we're proud to support you. Thank you.
Mr. Durden, FFA members all over the state are extremely thankful for the support of the Florida Cattlemen's Foundation. Please accept this as a small token of our appreciation.
I appreciate it, Hunter. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Florida FFA members and guests, Mr. Pat Durden.
Want you to see all of the lights.
Yes, sir. As a fifth-generation Floridian, lifelong Florida farmer and entrepreneur, Commissioner Wilson Simpson has deep personal and professional roots grounded in agriculture, including a large-scale egg-laying operation that supplies eggs to Florida families and supermarkets all across the state. From 2012 to 2022, Commissioner Simpson served as a member of the Florida Senate and was elected Senate President for the 2020 to 2022 term. Serving as Senate President during a worldwide pandemic offered many unique challenges, but Commissioner Simpson fought to keep Florida open and free, and for Florida to remain as a beacon of hope, opportunity, and freedom for generations to come. The Commissioner of Agriculture oversees the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. Having a background in agriculture, Commissioner Simpson clearly understands the challenges faced by Florida farmers. Florida FFA members and guests, please help me in welcoming to the stage your Florida Commissioner of Agriculture, Mr. Wilton Simpson.
Good evening. I have several shout outs to do here, but I'm going to say at your Department of Agriculture, if you visited us in Tallahassee, we have a big FFA carpet in a frame right there at your entrance now. We remodeled our building, and we're very proud of that big blanket, and it's proudly displayed there for FFA folks. Secondly, I'd like to tell you that I'm from Trilby, Florida, and not everybody knows where Trilby, Florida is, and I always like to clear that up because I'm proud of where I'm from. And I think I did this last year, but Trilby, Florida is right beside Lacoochee, Florida. That cleared that up. Secondly, thank you for having me here tonight. I'm a fifth-generation Floridian, and I have 2 big shout-outs to do. One tonight to the Zephyr Hills FFA. Are they in the house tonight? I knew they would be. I visited with them quite a bit there in East Pasco County. It's Dade City FFA here tonight. Not quite as big a crowd, but they're here. And then I'd also like to do, and I said this, but I'm on the internet. Leanne John has been a good friend of mine for all of her life. She's probably, I'm going to say 35 years old to be safe. And so I've known her for 35 of those years. And she was the Teacher of the Year this year. Our ag teacher from Pasco County is the Ag Teacher of the Year in Pasco County. We're very proud of that. And is Chloe here tonight, Chloe Seabury? I met her in Dade City just a few weeks ago, and I'd like to ask her to come up to the stage for a second if she is here. Oh, here we go. So I happened to be in Dade City. It's been a couple of weeks ago, and we were in the same place, and she introduced herself. I said, "Are you going to be at this convention next week or in a couple of weeks?" She said, "I am going to be there." I did not have a challenge coin, and so tonight she is getting one of our challenge coins. You're welcome. Good seeing you. You're welcome. Okay, and now to get to our business. The Department of Agriculture is very proud. By the way, the governor I know he was here last night, did a great job, and he signed the budget today, and all of the FFA money is still in the budget, just like what he said. We all here know that agriculture is a national security issue, and the way I pose that is we know that other oil and things are national security issues. We have strategic supplies all over the world. Think about if you didn't have food in the grocery store just for 1 week. You'd have complete chaos in this country, and in 30 days, you'd have people starving to death. So we know agriculture is a national security issue, and we worked very hard, not only while we were in the Senate, but as your Commissioner of Agriculture, to make sure that agriculture has a prominent place in Florida. We are the second leading driver of the economy in Florida today, with over $180 billion a year output. 2.5 million people go to work in agriculture every day. The governor outlaid a good plan last night where he said, how many enemies do we have? How many naysayers do we have where they want to get rid of the cattle industry? And we all know cows keep Florida green here. They want to get rid of our cattle industry. They want to get rid of our row crops. They want to get rid of agriculture because they think that you have to go net zero, and the only way to do that is not to have agriculture in this world. And might I remind those folks, there's going to be an additional billion people living on this planet 30 years from now. And who's going to feed them, right? It's going to be farmers. In the state of Florida, the last few years, I'm going to outlay a few of the things that we've done. Clearly, we passed the Right to Farm bill a few years ago. We had farmers being sued all over this state. And we said two things in that bill. When we enhanced that bill, the Right to Farm bill was one of my top priorities in the Florida Senate. We said if you're going to sue a farmer, you have to live within a half a mile of them. And when the farmer wins that lawsuit, you have to pay their attorney fees. So we've had a major chilling effect for lawsuits to your agriculture industry the last couple of years. No longer in the state of Florida can foreign enemies buy our agriculture land. We passed that bill 2 years ago. The governor mentioned it was a top priority last year. We just signed this bill. You cannot produce or sell synthetic meat here in the state of Florida. Some of the other things we're proud of, the wildlife corridor. If you want to know about the wildlife corridor, it's something everyone in this room should know. Google a map tonight of the state of Florida at nighttime. You will see all the beautiful lights. You'll see where you live, and it's beautiful. Everywhere it's dark on that map is a wildlife corridor. Everywhere it's dark on that map is where we grow food. It's where our aquifer gets recharged, and it's where our animals can traverse the state. It's one of our primary goals when you're thinking about agriculture 50 or 100 years from now. We have to protect that wildlife corridor. I'm very proud to say today that the governor approved $100 million a year of recurring revenue for that program. It's the first time in the history of the program we've had recurring revenue. Our program at the department, if you want to look it up, we're posting another one today, is called the Rural and Family Lands Act. It's where we buy development rights from farmers so that they can continue to own their land, they continue to be able to farm on that land, but that land will be in perpetuity in agriculture, and it's the importance of agriculture that we're giving that program the $100 million a year, and obviously we're hoping to go back to the legislature next year and receive some additional funds. All of you that are seniors, you missed out on the opportunity now that the rising seniors will have, plus anyone else in our 4-HR FFA programs. Your absences when you have to miss school programs will be excused going forward. We put that in legislation this year. And the other thing I would like to mention, so everyone in here should know what Fresh from Florida is. When I took over the department 15 months ago, last January, we had about 400,000 members that liked our social media pages. Today we have over 1 million, and we're continuing to push Fresh from Florida because it's how we're bringing value to our farmers here in the state of Florida. When you go to any store you shop in, you should see those Fresh from Florida logos. If you go onto your phone to buy your groceries today, I'm old-fashioned, so I don't do that. I have to actually go to a store. But if you do that, you should see those Fresh from Florida products there on that website. You should be able to see recipes and things. We encourage everyone in here to go to freshfromflorida.com and sign up, like our social media pages, and really spread the word and help Florida farmers produce more income for Florida farmers. And it's a great program. It's something we're very proud of. The last thing I'd like to mention, and I'm not going to forget this for the cattlemen, we all know cows keep Florida green. I'm going to be in Marco next week with them. But in this state, we are very fortunate to have multiple legislators that really work with us in agriculture, and I'm going to mention a few of them here tonight. First of all, Governor DeSantis has the last word on any legislation that we pass. If a law becomes law, it's because he signed the law, and we really want to thank him for signing all these bills we just talked about here tonight and making them the law of the land in the state of Florida. So Governor DeSantis, Senator Collins, Jay Collins in the Florida Senate, done a tremendous job the last few years as chairman of your Ag Committee, and we're very proud of his work. He's the first Green Beret senator from the Tampa Bay area. He did a tremendous job for agriculture. He should be recognized for that. Representative Alvarez, again, he's out of the Tampa Bay area, did a tremendous job in the House, shepherding our top priorities through the House. And then we have the president-designate of the Florida Senate, Ben Albritton, a citrus farmer in Wauchula, is going to be the president of the Senate the next 2 years. So because of your help, because of programs like the FFA that these folks grew up paying attention to and being a part of, they are now in these leadership roles. And I would encourage everyone in this room to take a look at your local offices. We need folks at the school board level. We need them at the county commission, the city commissions, state legislature that makes their living from agriculture. That's how we're going to continue to protect our way of life here in the state of Florida and the things that we value. Thank you for having me here tonight. God bless.
Commissioner Simpson, thank you for your remarks this evening. Your support of agriculture education and the FFA is evident in the work you do in our state each and every day. Thank you for supporting our association and for taking time to be here with us tonight. For your outstanding efforts on our behalf, we would like to bestow upon you one of the highest honors presented by our organization, the Honorary State FFA degree. Florida FFA members and guests, Commissioner Wilton Simpson.
Want you to see all of the lights.
Dr. Kevin O'Farrell serves as the Chancellor for the Division of Career and Adult Education for the Florida Department of Education. He provides his strategic leadership to career and technical education programs, workforce education, apprenticeship programs, and adult education programs throughout the state of Florida. Dr. O'Farrell is the State Director for the Strengthening Career and Technical Education for the 21st Century Act, Perkins 5, and chairs or serves on numerous statewide leadership boards, including the State Apprenticeship Advisory Council, the Credential Review Committee, the Florida Council of 100, CareerSource Florida, and the Talent Development Council. Dr. O'Farrell has over 15 years of experience in higher education as an instructor, executive administrator, and state leader. He has overseen, coordinated, and directed state and regional accreditation, articulation between secondary and post-secondary sectors, university partnerships, developmental education, instruction, staff and professional development, and academic administrative affairs. Please help me in welcoming to the convention stage, Chancellor O'Farrell.
You guys rock. Let me tell you, the energy in this room and the excitement that you guys bring is absolutely incredible, and I've got to get a laser light show back at the Department of Education. We need it. I want to welcome you all here tonight to this general session, and on behalf of Commissioner Manny Diaz and the Department of Education, I want to congratulate you on the significant investment that you are making in your professional development. You know, I remember back when I started out my days, It was in Pahokee, Florida, and Belglade, Florida, and the sugarcane fields. And let me tell you, when you're part of something special like that, it stays with you your entire life. You all are here making an investment in yourself. And we at the Department of Education want to continue to make an investment in everything that you do. I want you to know that right now in the state of Florida, we have about 800,000 students that are involved in career and technical education. And we know that the students who are involved in agriculture programs are at the top. You know, recently we were excited at the Department of Education to release $15.2 million, that's right, $million to fund 29 agricultural programs across the state. This will serve your institutions, your school districts, and career dual enrollment programs across the state to advance what's happening in our agricultural clusters. You know, I want to share with you all something very important as you're here tonight. As much as we are excited about what's happening in our cluster, as much as we're excited about what's happening in ag, and as excited as we are for what FFA does, I want you to keep a couple of things in mind as you continue through this year's state convention and expo. Number one, I want you to continue to build your personal network. Because when you build those relationships with those individuals across the aisle, across from where you're sitting, all over the place, you are preparing yourself for a successful future. You are a leader in your hometown, and you are a leader in this state. So build those relationships and build those networks. And I want to leave one last piece of advice with you too. It's something that my mom told me many, many years ago. And she would say to me, Kevin, remember who you are and remember who you represent. Remember who you are and remember who you represent. The discipline and the service and the sacrifice that you are taking part in every day through FFA is going to have a return. Remember the values. Remember the core truths that you hold to and never deviate from those. You will spend your entire life building your personal identity and integrity. It takes a lifetime to build that kind of commitment and that kind of character. But let me tell you, it only takes one misstep to wipe it all away. All those good intentions, all those good efforts can be quickly erased by one bad choice. And so I want to encourage you to continue with truth and honesty, respect and discipline so that your personal integrity continues to be the thing that drives you. Thank you to all of the advisors and the alumni, to the teachers, to everyone in this room who is serving as a mentor and an inspiration to the students that are here tonight. Your example means so much. Your commitment, your investment is going to have a return. So continue to be that mentor, continue to be that voice, continue to be that advocate and champion. And students, remember, your future is bright, it is powerful, and someday someone in this room is going to be my boss. Guys, have a great night. We're excited for you and a great convention.
Chancellor O'Farrell, thank you for your continued dedication towards career and technical education, and it is because of dedicated leaders like you that our organization is able to grow and thrive. Thank you for your leadership and your continued support of agricultural education and the FFA. Please accept this as a small token of our appreciation. Thank you, Hunter. Yes, sir. Florida FFA members and guests, Chancellor O'Farrell. It is quite obvious that the Oscars simply would not be the same without the celebrities themselves. Though the event is technically a competition, there is an endless amount of fellowship and camaraderie that comes along with the events.
Take this selfie as an example. This picture was taken back in 2014 and took the internet by storm. Ellen DeGeneres snapped this shot with some top A-list celebrities just enjoying the night.
Jenna, I just had a great idea. Being that we are at the biggest event of the year, why don't we take our very own soon-to-be viral selfie?
Man, this guy does have some good ideas. All right, everybody, on the count of 3, say cheese. We ain't said 3 yet.
Might be able to see it. Okay.
1, 2, 3, cheese.
It definitely showed up.
That picture is definitely going in the scrapbook. Just like the picture we just took and Ellen's viral selfie, people coming together, sharing a laugh, and just enjoying the moment are what make events like these so special. Speaking of bringing people together, we are excited to be joined tonight by a familiar face and someone who calls Florida FFA home.
Dr. Barrett Keene is the Director of Talent Development at Intuit, where he leads teams that develops leaders across the Silicon Valley and all over the world. Prior to Intuit, he worked for Tesla as an executive coach and as head of leadership and talent development for Tesla's engineering organizations. He spent the last 4 years working with 9 Fortune 100 companies to develop their leaders and employees with Accenture, a technology consulting company, and the previous 11 years as an independent leadership development consultant. Barrett earned a PhD at Cornell University, where he focused on transformational leadership, behavioral integrity, and a master's in business management, while serving as an agricultural teacher and FFA advisor in both Miami and Tampa. Barrett is no stranger to Florida FFA, and his leadership development journey began as a member of the Plant City FFA chapter. Barrett attended his first state convention in the 7th grade and went on to become a state and national FFA officer. Florida FFA members and guests, please help us in welcoming home Dr. Barrett Keene.
Well, hello, FFA. Now, let me hear it for you if you have a deep love for ag education and FFA. When I was an FFA member, I set a lot of goals. Right? One of those goals was actually to become an agricultural educator and an FFA advisor after wrapping up with my time at FFA and my time at the University of Florida. Go Gators. Now, imagine something that you have worked really, really hard to be able to accomplish. All right, picture that. Maybe something that you've spent years working towards, hoping, fighting, clawing to be able to get there. For me, that was becoming an ag teacher. I grew up in Plant City. FFA rocked my world, changed my life, and I wanted to be able to make sure that students in different places had the chance to be able to experience that as well. And so I moved down to Miami, and I opened up a brand new FFA chapter. All right, I was excited. I've been training for years. Right, I have been doing speaking competitions. I have been, developing leadership development opportunities. I have been a state officer, a national officer. I had started a company doing leadership development. I had gone to UF and studied agricultural education. I had worked on my lesson plans. I had prepared for this moment. And to be honest, I was surrounded by people that were helping me be able to do that. My professors, my friends, the teachers in Miami-Dade and Plant City, everyone around me, I felt like was enabling me to be able to be successful. And I was still really bad, right? Week 1, all right, I had 182 students, which is a great way to be able to start. The only problem is none of them signed up for agriculture classes, right? None of them wanted to be there. Had a couple of kids who had just moved in from Colombia. They had grown up on farms. They were quasi-curious, but they had signed up for dance, right? Definitely different than FFA. So I was overcoming quite a big challenge, and that's a problem. And so I said, what could we do? And 2 of my students, Andres and Daniel, 2 brothers, basically the only 2 kids that were even quasi-optimistic about me being their teacher, said, why don't we get some fish? I said, that sounds great. We'll go get the fish. I said, that sounds better, right? So they brought the fish in, and we put them in the tank. We dumped them in. We decorated the tank. We got them all set up. Now, I'm from the country, right? We don't have a lot of chlorine in our water. Came back the next day, all the fish are dead, right? They're just floating. That's kind of a problem, right? Because Daniel and Andres had told lots of students about the fish. So I went through and I had the chance to be able to clean them up. And at the end of the day, the students were really, really upset with me and noticed that there was one fish that was still dead in the tank and under a rock. Right? That's a problem. And so they said, why did you kill the fish? I said, I didn't mean to kill the fish. Super angry, right? Middle school students, I don't know if you've been one, very passionate, excited. Any middle school students in the house tonight? I like it. Middle school students are the best. Well, my students were livid. All right, and so they said, what's his name? I said, I don't know his name. Let's call him Fishy. I said, that's fine. All right, they're literally up in arms. And I said, well, how's this? At the end of the class, if you're perfect, if you're really well behaved, we'll go through, we'll collect Fishy, we'll take him outside, we'll dig a little grave. One of the students had built a little headstone for him, Fishy, which we had just got named, posthumous, right? And we'll sing Kumbaya, and I will pray for forgiveness, right? And so that was the only day my class had been well behaved. And I went to get the fish, and I just went to slide him up the glass, and I cut his head off. All right, so here's the head floating. The students are freaking out. All right, that was like the last 5 minutes of class. Students left the classroom early. It was really bad. Week 2, I'm like, I got to redeem myself. Francis, one of my favorite students at this point, one of the only students that actually still liked me. They were calling me fish killer around school. The teachers were saying, I heard you killed a bunch of fish. Aren't you supposed to be the ag teacher? And I'm like, well, I mean, yes. All right, so but Francis brought some finches in that were supposed to be pretty easy to not kill. All right, next morning, they're dead. All right, it's bad. All right, apparently you got to keep them a little bit warmer than I kept them. I kind of froze some birds to death. All right, so now it's like all over the school, the ag teacher's killing animals. All right, left and right. This is not impressive at all. All right, so I'm like, well, what can I do? And I'm like, ice cream in a bag. All right, raise your hand if you've ever made ice cream in a bag. It's very, very easy. Only when I had them put the rock salt in, I had them put the rock salt in the wrong bag. All right, rock salt's slightly poisonous. All right, and it really, really keeps it from freezing. All right, this is like 6 or 7 minutes in, the ice cream still isn't solid. I'm like, you gotta get in there, really get in there. And then one of the kids started trying. I said, it's like a milkshake, no big deal. Drank it, one of the kids threw up. A couple of other kids almost did. I poisoned a group of middle school students. I'm talking, I was a really, really bad teacher. This is 3 weeks in, all right? Now, the crazy thing is I was actually doing everything I could to not be a really, really bad teacher, and I was still really horrible. It was very humbling, all right? I was lesson planning like a boss. I was using my facilitation questions. I was doing everything that I could as far as skills, abilities, and I was still a pretty bad teacher. And so I remember laying in bed one morning, lesson plans written, and I'm still very, very sure that the day is going to go horribly. And I remember praying, and I'm like, God, I literally need some help. And it came to me that you're trying to do all these things. But what you're doing is you're cleaning the outside of the bowl. And the best leadership advice I've ever heard is you got to clean the inside of the bowl so that the outside can be clean also. You got to focus on those things that are unseen, not those things that are seen. Skills, abilities, public speaking, winning some competition. It's good, but it's not the key to leadership. The key to leadership is deep impact, is deep care and concern for other people. And we had some class expectations. Love people, do what's right, and do it well. And I just prayed literally every single morning the rest of the year. We had like a moment of silence. I prayed, God, please help me be a man of love, integrity, and excellence for my students. And there began to be a transformation when I simply just started focusing and meeting my own expectations for my students, right? My skills, my abilities didn't change, but the results were massively different. And that's what we're gonna be talking about today. You're gonna hear consistently throughout convention, the state officers are gonna say, let's get started. All right, we're gonna talk about initiate, right? And so we're gonna pull some slides up. And where we wanna start is exactly there. That leadership is not about winning parliamentary procedure, prepared extemporaneous public speaking. Leadership is not about being a chapter officer or a district officer or a state officer or not having any letters on the back of your jacket as a national officer. Leadership is about genuinely, deeply caring for other people, serving other people, and having an impact on how they see themselves and the world. That is what leadership is all about. And so as we pull up this definition, right, it's a process by which a leader helps shift the way that others see themselves in light of a shared vision. So you'll notice it doesn't mean that you got to have all the skills and you got to be perfect and you have to be extroverted and you have to be popular and you have to be an officer and you have to be X, Y, or Z. But it's, can you deeply care about other people? Because every single one of us can initiate. We can get things started. And so we're going to be talking about three things tonight. The first thing we're going to be talking about is to us. The second thing, within us. And the third thing, around us. All right? Now, to us is interesting because it's not really something that we talk about as far as initiate. How the world really works is sometimes things get initiated to us. All right? Think about the good things that have happened in your life that you didn't control. I think about being on an 8-year-old basketball team with a guy named Chris Vitelli. Horrible basketball player. Right? Ended up being my absolute best friend. And I'm going to tell you a little story in a minute of how he significantly changed the trajectory of my life, and he's still my brother. I think about being in 7th grade and meeting Mr. John Altizer, my ag teacher, who taught me that leadership's more about being willing to bend over and pick up a piece of paper than it is about telling people what to do. He was a teacher that chewed me out for getting caught chewing a piece of gum because he said every single thing you do, big or small, good or bad, gives other people permission to do the same. And if you're going to be an officer in my chapter, you're going to keep that in mind. And I was like, you need to calm down. But I knew he was right when I saw my little sister making some of the same choices and decisions that I was making. And that broke my heart. But also, some of those things that get initiated in our lives aren't always so positive, aren't always so fun. Now, I've been fortunate to be able to speak at this convention a few times as a former FFA member and advisor. The last time I was here, I was doing something kind of wild. I was walking and running from Miami to San Francisco, raising awareness and support for a group called the Global Orphan Project. I had the chance to be able to share a little bit about Ellison, a little kid in Haiti that was tossed into a dumpster at age 2. And someone heard his cries and climbed into that dumpster and picked him up and took him home and cared for him. It's not his fault. Talked about Felipe, a little infant that I had the chance to be able to spend some time with at an orphanage in Brazil, literally just holding babies, picking him up. And when you see a little baby, 6 months old, you see eyes and faces light up. And feeling him literally wake up in my arms over 30 minutes of eyes that were just glassed over from not enough nuns at this orphanage to be able to hold all the babies that ended up on their doorstep and ended up in their system. It's not okay, right? But it's not just kids in different parts of the world, is it, right? It's kids in our communities. It's our friends. And it's you, and it's me. Sometimes things get initiated in our lives to us that are incredibly hard. What is a source of pain? A challenge? A source of grief for you? Like everyone here, I grew up in a family that was quite imperfect. Some of the folks in my family, some really inappropriate ways to be able to see and engage with women. And the things that I was exposed to, encouraged to do, and experienced as a young kid had a massive impact on me. It all came to a head when I was 17, when some things got revealed, and we lost half of my extended family. And I remember coming to state convention 2 months later, smiling, trying to hide the pain, trying to shove it down. And what I want to say to you today is it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to hurt. And it's a sign of strength to be able to get some help. So the question that I would ask is, what is that source of pain, challenge, grief for you? Because leadership, again, is not about just those skills. It's not about those awards. It's not about the pins. It's not about the offices. It's about how do we transform our hearts, our lives, and those around us as well. Who is it that you can go to be able to get some help? Who are those friends? Who are those teachers? If yours, like mine, was really, really hard. Who are those school counselors? Who are those pastors? Who are those people that we can go to? Who are those family members that we can confide in? Because it's no more your fault than it is Elison's or Felipe's or any other kid. And adults, I'd say the same thing to you. We carry around hard things in our lives. Where can you go? Where can you go to receive love and help and care? Because I went through state convention, I went to WLC, I went to every leadership conference that I could. I denied my parents' guidance to be able to go and actually get some counseling. And I spent state and national office just trying to run from the pain and run towards good and beautiful things, but just shoving it down. I spent my college years a lot of times really depressed because there was so much challenge and pain and grief in my life that I wasn't doing anything with. If you want to be able to lead, how can you be able to take those things and humbly bring them out and get help, right? Because while it's not your fault, the good thing about being in middle school and being in high school is we begin to have opportunities and choices about what do we want to do with some of those sources of pain, those sources of sin in and around our lives. When I was in the 9th grade, I had the chance to be able to go to a leadership conference at the Florida Leadership Training Center. And it had a massive impact on my life. There were two things. One, as I said, I like this leadership development stuff. I think this is maybe what I want to do with my life. And it was at that conference, and it was at the Leadership Training Center over and over and over again that I learned more about leadership development than I had it in my PhD program. And I learned more about leadership development than I have in the past 21 years of helping people grow and develop as leaders. Because FFA does leadership development just as good as basically any company that I've ever been in and around. It's an incredible organization. But the second thing is there were also some folks in my extended family who were quite racist, and I allowed that to seep into my heart, into my mind. I was voted nicest boy in the 8th grade, but it was just polishing the outside of the cup because the inside of the cup was dirty. And I had deep beliefs and assumptions that if folks were different than me, they were often lesser than me. And I remember being at the LTC and telling a racist joke, and that really bad basketball player, Chris Vatelli, who was just 1 year older than me, said, Barrett, if you ever hope to be a leader, and if you ever genuinely desire to be a Christian, you have to get 100% of that out of your heart. Yeah. What a boss for a 15-year-old kid, right? And I brushed him off, and I was like, man, calm down. But I knew it was right, right? And I began to make choices and decisions about the type of person that I wanted to be independent of my context. And that's what we have to be able to do as leaders. We have to start thinking about what are the changes we want to be able to see in and within our lives. We have to initiate changes. And sometimes those are incredibly hard. Sometimes those are incredibly scary. When I was 17, I began a personal relationship with Christ, and I began a very long process of understanding how incredibly sinful and weak and pitiful I actually was. And so the thought that somebody else is going to be lesser than me is laughable. And what I would say is if you feel like you are heading in that direction of becoming a Christian, I would say the same thing that Chris said to me. Understand how broken and weak we are, and consider how could we see ourselves as better than other people in light of that. And so there was a transformation that began to occur, and FFA accelerated that. During state office, I had the chance to be able to go to Miami consistently. Anybody from Miami tonight? Yeah, I like it. And those kids taught me about life. They taught me about diversity. They taught me about how beautiful differences were. I began to develop a love for people, not despite of differences, but because of differences. And so what I would say to you is, what might be a change in your life that you, when you look at the trajectory of where you're heading, you would want to make? And I want to read one thing from my favorite author, a man named C.S. Lewis. He said, every time you make a choice you are turning the central part of you, right? What's inside that cup. The part that chooses something turns into something a little bit different than it was before. And taking your life as a whole, with all of your innumerable choices, you are slowly turning this control thing into a more heavenly or hellish creature. Yeah. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm actually not that bright, all right? And I mean, I've got 2 scars on my forehead. That's because I ran into the same corner of the same wall and busted my head twice in like a period of 2 months, right? I began to make choices and decisions about, I'm gonna stop running into walls. My first girlfriend had a flat top mullet. That's not okay. Fashions change, but that one's pretty much consistent. If you have, it's okay, you look beautiful, but grow it out. I made choices and decisions. My wife, she's really great. She doesn't have a flat top mullet. Yeah. I was an 8-year-old wearing white pants, a green 4-H jacket, about to show my first pig, Roseanne. I was putting a little baby powder on her, making sure she looked good. She got excited. I weighed like 50. She weighed 250. My ears were as big then as they are now. I was a little top heavy. She bumped into me. I fell over. I landed in some pig stuff with my white pants. I went into the arena. I cried. My mom made me go. I got laughed at a lot. I remember an old lady saying, "Look at that little boy with the poop on his pants," really loud. I was 8. I cried a lot. I made a choice. I'm going to get out of 4-H as soon as I can. I'm going to move into FFA, right? We make choices. We make choices. We make decisions in our lives, all right? And so what is it for you, all right? What is it for you that you would make a choice and a decision, all right? Maybe, like me, you have perspectives and assumptions about people that are different than you, assuming that they are lesser than you. Maybe, like me, especially growing up, and this has been a process in my life, you're treating people in a way that is absolutely not loving. What is it for you? And so what I would say is, what is that thing? And what do you do or not do instead of that? Pause for a moment and consider. Turn to a person beside you and share with them. What is that thing? If you feel like you can't right now share it, that's okay. But if you can, share what is that thing that you desire to change, and what are you doing or not doing instead of that right now? It's going to take 1 minute. We're going to come back together in 15 seconds. All right, in 3, 2, and 1. So this is a process that's been refined by a couple of researchers at Harvard University named Bob Keegan and Lisa Leahy. They're 2 of the top developmental psychologists in the world. And as we go to the next slide, there are going to be 2 more pieces here, all right? And the first piece is, what concerns or worries would you have if you were to do the opposite, right? When I was in the 9th grade, theme for my FFA officer application was a new flame in the FFA, Barrett Keene. I had a charcoal lighter in this hand, actually this hand, a candle in this hand. I was so nervous that the flame wouldn't light the candle because my hands were shaking so bad. I told my teachers, I said, I will never speak again. My teacher said, whoosh, yes, you will. I said, yes, ma'am. All right? And I tested the assumption by just getting up and talking in class, by getting up and talking at FFA meetings. Next thing I knew, I was starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. All right? I had concerns. I had worries. We all do. Change is incredibly hard, but every single one of us, you can teach an old dog new tricks. When you're 14, when you're 24, when you're 34, when you're 64, there are ways we can deeply change. And then what is a test that you can run to learn more? I talked to a young man today. He said, I want to be able to be more proactive. I want to be able to go up and talk to people. So what are the fears? What are the concerns that you have? And how can you test that? I talked to another man today, young man, he said, I want to do a speaking competition, but I know I would freeze. Well, guess what? If you do, that's okay. I did the creed competition. I was really good at it. Yep. I messed up the first sentence, right? Recovered, promptly forgot the last 4 paragraphs, right? And I'm speaking before you today. I know I'm still not that good of a speaker, but I've grown a lot. You know what I mean? And that's a good thing, and so will you. So what are those things that you can just try? Because when we try, what happens is we're able to test those assumptions, and when those assumptions get less and less strong, the behaviors can naturally happen. When I could test my assumptions by simply putting myself around people that were different than me, getting into relationships with people that were different than me, I saw that there was so much beauty that I was completely ignorant of, and it crushed my heart and opened it at the same exact time. How can you simply test to see if you can make that change? Because the thing is we can. And the next thing we'll go to is the last piece. We've talked about to you, we've talked about within you, and the last piece, around you. When I was in the 9th grade, there was a young man named Paul. And Paul was the light of the school, right? He was a special needs student. Really, really tough home situation. But as big of a love for people and as big of a personality as you could possibly imagine. And I remember being in the 9th grade, and I remember walking along. I was probably 15 feet behind Paul, and I saw a senior shove Paul into a locker. And I saw my friend Trey Ennis, who was about 5 feet ahead of me, said, hey, Trey's like 5'8", 140. This guy's a senior on the football team. Trey said, that is not okay. Don't ever do that again. And I remember being like, Trey's the man, right? Because Trey had some courage to be able to facilitate change around him. That inspired me. So my friends and I, we just started getting involved in the Special Olympics. We started getting involved with the special needs program. My sister, my friend Hannah, there were 3 of us, then there became 6 of us, then there were 12 of us. Next thing you know, 2 9th grade girls got involved. They were both in FFA, Nicole and Lindsay. By the time they were seniors, there were 256 students at Plant City High School that were involved in an organization that they formally started called Best Buddies. I just checked in with some Plant City FFA members. That organization is still active. I'm old. Like 28 years later. Because Trey had the courage to stand up. Because a few of us just got involved. And because Nicole and Lindsay started something big. And the cool thing is, Trey was an FFA, Nicole was an FFA, Lindsay was an FFA, and only one of them were chapter officers. This is the thing. It's not about making the outside of the cup beautiful. It's not about those things that are seen. None of them won parliamentary procedure or prepared or became a state officer. One of them was a chapter officer, but they chose to simply do something to be able to bring about change around them. And so think about your life, right? Think about your FFA chapter. Think about your school. Think about your community. Think about your friends who, like me, right, were making choices and decisions and how I was engaging with young women. That's not okay. Maybe you have friends like me that were racist, that had negative assumptions, right? What does it look like for you to, with love and courage, be able to stand into that gap and say, this is not okay? If there's a change that you want to bring about in your FFA chapter in your school, where it feels like it's more than courage, it feels like systemic, it's significant, it's something that's not just about kind of laying the smack down like Chris Vitelli did to me when I was in 9th grade. There's a guy named Howard Gardner. He's also a psychologist at Harvard. He talks about, in this book called Changing Minds, he said, if I could dispense one morsel of advice to people attempting to change minds, It's to stop talking, to ask questions, to be able to listen more and understand and thereby neutralize points of resistance. So if you have FFA members in your chapter that haven't done a competition yet, it's not about just laying the smack down and saying, you need to just go ahead and do it. But maybe it's just asking, hey, what's holding you back? What's getting in the way? Understanding, it might be because they don't necessarily feel super welcome or comfortable in your FFA chapter. How can you change? How can you take that feedback? And it might just be that they have some of those assumptions about they don't have the skills or the abilities, or they're not A, B, or C, that they can't actually bring that about. And so what I would say is, what is that change that you would be willing to have the courage to help happen around you? To wrap up, what we've talked about is throughout convention, we're going to hear, let's get started. Some of those things, right, have already started in our lives. They've already been initiated. They've happened to you. Some of those things are good. Some of those things are horrible. Some of those things are hard. Whatever it is, we have the chance now to be able to start making choices and decisions about the kind of man, the kind of woman, the kind of leader that we desire to be. And so we have the chance to be able to think about not just what happened to me, but what can happen within me. And the last piece is what can happen around me. Again, I was a teacher, and I was really not killing it. I had all the skills and the abilities in the world, but the inside of the cup was pretty empty because I was focusing on those things that were external, those things that were seen. What does it look like for you to be able to live with courage, to be able to live with humility, to be able to be okay being absolutely imperfect? Because again, leadership is not about having all the skills, it's not about having all the abilities, it's not about having the right personality, it's definitely not about having the right last name, it's not about the number of followers that you have on social media. It's about, are you willing to be able to engage in those things that are hard, those things that are hard in your life, and be able to get some help, those things that are hard in the people that are around you, and be able to have the courage to be able to initiate and bring about change. Florida FFA, I genuinely love you. Thank you for the chance to be able to be with you tonight. God bless.
Dr. Keene, thank you for sharing your story with us and leaving us with some profound words of wisdom. We are so grateful for all the ways you have continued to give back to the agriculture industry and to FFA members everywhere. Please accept this small token of our appreciation. Florida FFA members and guests, please join me in thanking Dr. Barrett Keene. A lot of good movies in my time, but no one has put on a performance quite like Austin Butler in the hit movie Elvis.
Wait a minute. Did someone just say Elvis?
DJ, hit it.
Well, it's one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready. Now go, cat, go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoe. Well, you can do anything but take you over my blue suede shoe.
Enough with the lip syncing, but seriously, to be nominated for an Oscar takes hard work and dedication. Just like Austin Butler lives and breathes Elvis for his role in the movie, the Florida FFA Foundation lives and breathes FFA. Because of their hard work and dedication, the results of our organization, just like the Elvis movie, are a smashing success each year. The Florida FFA Foundation is made up of a board of trustees and sponsors council who represent industry and education. A number of those who serve the Florida FFA Foundation are FFA alumni and understand the profound positive impact that the Blue Jacket has on students like you and me. We are so honored and privileged to be supported by such an outstanding organization. At this time, please direct your attention to the special guest section as we recognize the Florida FFA Board of Trustees and Sponsors Council.
Members of the Florida FFA Foundation Board of Trustees are Ben Butler, Foundation President, Butler Oaks Farms; Tiffany Dale, Florida Strawberry Growers Association; Kaylee Arisman, State FFA President; Bill Ham, Independent Financial Partners; Farrah Johnson, Florida Association of Agricultural Educators; Wesley Joyner, Circle J Farms; Jenna Larson, State FFA Secretary; Dr. Brian Myers, University of Florida; Morgan Odom, The Mosaic Company; Matt Pierce, Purina; Doug Register, Florida FFA Alumni Association; Ronnie Simmons, Florida FFA Association; Stacy Sims, Florida Farm Bureau Federation; Larry Swindle, Rocking S Farms; Kaylin Van Heusen, Florida Association of Agriculture Educators; Doug Watson, Brandon Land and Clearing. Members of the Florida FFA Foundation Sponsors Council are Clay Archie, A. Dudon Sons; Keith Bartholomew, Public Supermarkets; Tiffany Dale, Florida Strawberry Growers Association; Cynthia Flyer, Farm Credit of Central Florida; Matt Griffin, United Genetic Seeds Company; Rissa John, Suncoast Credit Union; Seth Poppel, W&W Supply Co. of Florida; Stacy Sims, Florida Farm Bureau Federation.
We are incredibly grateful for the breadth of knowledge and wisdom that our stakeholders, sponsors, and supporters have to share with us. Each day, they live and breathe FFA to provide opportunities to FFA members all across the state. Let's give them a red carpet round of applause. And now, please help me welcome to the stage Foundation President, Mr. Ben Butler, to present the Florida FFA Foundation Annual Report.
Well, good evening, Florida FFA. I'm honored to be with you tonight, and you know, you can't start a good speech without quoting E.M. Tiffany. But as E.M. Tiffany says in the Creed, I believe in the future of agriculture with a faith born not of words, but of deeds. Your Florida FFA Foundation continues to take this to heart as I bring you the annual report on behalf of the Board of Trustees and Sponsors Council. For the next 2 years, I have the honor of serving as the president of the Florida FFA Foundation Board of Trustees. But during my time as an FFA supporter over the previous years, I've witnessed our foundation accomplish many deeds for the good of the membership. Things like Florida FFA being one of the first to have middle school programs, breaking all-time membership records, increasing funding for awards and support year over year, and building our very own FFA Leadership Training Center in Haines City and Florida FFA headquarters in Gainesville. All of these deeds help build the strong foundation we build upon today. FFA members, you're breaking all-time participation records in competitive events, awards programs, and more. New chapters are being chartered across the state, and membership is at an all-time high, with all students enrolled in ag education becoming FFA members. As a foundation, this excites and motivates us to work even harder than ever before to continue to provide even more opportunities for students across this state. We're empowered by your action, and our belief in the future of agriculture is strong. If you would hear me for a minute and pull out your convention guidebook. Now, I don't know if anybody still carries the paper around. If you're like my tech-savvy 14-year-old, pull out your smartphone, go to the Florida FFA Hub, sponsored by Suncoast Credit Union. And turn to page 48. I realize it's a little dark out there. You can get the house lights for a second. Turn to page 48, and what I want you to do is look through the next 8 pages. As a foundation, we've done some great things this past year. We've met new fundraising goals with nearly full support of all of our events here at convention, as well as returning and new sponsorships on our Pathway to Awards area. We continue to work hard to strengthen existing industry partnerships and create new ones. We're reaching out to more individuals and fostering a stronger relationship with individual giving through a monthly program called the 1928 Society. Now, you older adults, if you would, you keep flipping back in there, and I think it's somewhere page 53. There's a QR code in there. If you don't know how to do it, get your young'un to help you. But scan that QR code and become a member of the 1928 Society. If you do it while you're here at convention, find Miss Hillary Holly, and she's got a special gift for you, a little lapel pin like this. Lets everybody know you're a member of the 1928 Society and become a part of our FFA Foundation. Young folks, I ask that you study this book, this book that has all our sponsors in it. And when you get home, I ask that you take and pick 1 or 2 of these sponsors and write a personal thank you letter. Tell them what the FFA has done for you. As you're walking through the Expo Center here this week, find one of those sponsors that is in this book and tell them what FFA means to you. As a volunteer foundation board of trustees, we rely on a couple key individuals and to accomplish our mission. I want to take a brief moment to recognize our Florida FFA Foundation, 2 of our directors. They would join me on stage. Hillary Holly, who is our Florida FFA Foundation Director of Development, and Mr. Jonathan Bilbrey, our Florida FFA Foundation Director of the Leadership Training Center. They got stage fright. They're around here somewhere. There's Hillary. All right. Hillary, our Director of Development, and here comes Jonathan. I see him now. Students, you may be the heart of the foundation, but these 2 are the lungs, the kidneys, and the liver. Without them, we wouldn't survive. Let's give them a round of applause for everything they do for Florida FFA Foundation. Our foundation continues to work very closely with the Florida FFA Association to assure that your needs, the members, are met. As I stand here and look through the lights, I see a bright, bright future. The future of agriculture, the future of food production, the future of government, the future leaders of our society. Your Florida FFA Foundation is proud and honored and humbled to play a small role in growing leaders, building communities, and strengthening agriculture. It has been a true pleasure to work alongside Kaylee, Jenna, Makenleigh, Hunter, Mackenzie, Emma, and Spencer this year. They are the perfect examples of what the FFA experience does for you, our young people. For those of you who are graduating or moving on this year, and those parents and guests in the room, I encourage each of you to stay involved and connected to this organization. Whether it be joining your local alumni affiliate, becoming active in FFA offerings at your college of choice, go Gators, or simply by giving back as an individual or corporate donor. FFA members and guests, don't forget the impact that this organization has had on you. And as we move into the next chapters of our lives, to assure that we can continue making an impact on others who wear the blue jacket tomorrow, stay involved, be a contributor so you can make a difference. Just take advantage of the opportunities that present themselves, but rather, we create those opportunities for ourselves. So thank you for your involvement in this organization. Thank you to the teachers, the parents, the supporters of the program, because without you, none of this is possible. And finally, to the FFA members in the room, we thank you for being part of the solution. You help myself, the foundation board, and our sponsors in E.M. Tiffany fashion to truly believe in the future of agriculture. Thank you. May God bless each and every one of you, and long live Florida FFA.
Mr. Butler, thank you for your continued support of young agriculturalists and FFA members across the state of Florida. Your leadership of the Florida FFA Foundation is greatly needed, and we are so grateful for all that you've done and all that you will continue to do. Florida FFA members and guests, please join me in thanking Florida FFA Foundation President, Mr. Ben Butler.
The Florida FFA Foundation supports us in a number of different ways and is committed to recognizing students for their efforts and excellence. Each year, our generous sponsors fund numerous awards, scholarships, and travel stipends for our state winners to be able to compete on the national level through the Florida FFA Foundation. The Foundation Sponsors Council is fundamental to our success year-round. At this time, would our sponsors please stand? Please help me in thanking our sponsors. And now, please direct your attention to the center of the screen where we will recognize those who have served our association as sponsors.
We're gonna have some fun. 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 Oh, while we're young, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. Oh, while we're young, we're gonna live it up. There ain't no stopping. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun.
In 2007, the Florida legislature passed the Florida Career and Professional Education Act, with the goal of better preparing students for careers in skilled trade areas, including agriculture. As that need developed, the Florida Farm Bureau responded to that call with the creation of the Agriculture Education Services and Technology, Inc., better known to many of us as AEST. Since 2011, AEST has issued over 20,000 certifications in 11 agricultural areas. AEST continues to bridge the gap between the agriculture industry's expanding needs and certified skilled individuals to meet those needs. Agriculture students can use what they've learned in the classroom, in their SAE, and in FFA, placing agriculture students above the rest in college and career readiness. Since its inception, AEST has partnered with the Florida FFA Association to connect agriculture students and teachers with AEST programs and opportunities. As a part of that partnership, AEST has made an annual financial commitment to the Florida FFA Association, of which we are excited to celebrate here tonight. Before we begin that celebration, please direct your attention to the screen to learn more about our partnership.
Agriculture is evolving. Changes are happening rapidly and affecting all aspects of the industry. Agriculture feeds us, clothes us, shelters us. Agriculture is the backbone of our economy. Agriculture is vital to national security. Agriculture technology allows us to feed more with less. Less water, less land, more people, more food. Tomorrow's agriculture industry requires thinkers, innovators, movers, shakers, and leaders who will find solutions. Florida Farm Bureau understands that the future of agriculture is right here, right now. We understand the future is in the hands of FFA members like you. Together, AEST, FFA, and Ag Education are the solution to tomorrow's challenges. Agriculture education is part of the solution. Over 80,000 students are enrolled in programs throughout Florida, learning about agriculture and learning to make a difference. Florida FFA is part of the solution. Over 60,000 students have zipped up the legendary blue corduroy jacket and accepted membership into the organization. AEST, created by Florida Farm Bureau, is part of the solution. AEST's 10 different certification areas allow students to prove they are workforce ready. With more than 60,000 active certifications awarded, students are demonstrating they have the knowledge and skills needed to be the proven problem solvers of not only today, but the future.
Now, FFA members and guests, please help me in welcoming the president of the Florida Farm Bureau, Mr. Jeb Smith, to the podium.
Well, good evening, Florida FFA, and congratulations on your remarkable achievements this year. Your passion for success, dedication to excellence, and promise of continuing such into the future from each blue jacket in this room is admirable and encouraging. Florida Farm Bureau and our subsidiary AEST recognizes that you are the future of agriculture. We are committed to investing in you and your future, and our commitment extends beyond words. Since 2011, AEST has invested over $365,000 in Florida FFA and its members. But our investment does not end here. AEST serves as a gateway to advancement and career opportunities within the industry. And with over 2 million jobs supported by agriculture and related sectors across Florida, Your knowledge and success matter deeply. AEST provides a unique opportunity, a bridge between classroom learning and real-world application. Embrace it. Your advisors, your schools, and farm bureaus stand ready to support you. Become certified in your expertise, your achievements, and your vision for Florida. Remember, the blue jacket you wear today symbolizes not just membership, but a commitment to excellence. For those who have not crossed paths with Florida Farm Bureau, I encourage you to reach out. Connect with your leaders of your county farm bureaus. These passionate advocates are your allies, potential mentors, and devoted guides. And once you shed the blue corduroy jacket, your journey will continue. Florida Farm Bureau's Young Farmer and Rancher Leadership Program awaits you. When you turn 18, it is the perfect fit for you to network with peers, enhance leadership skills, and strengthen your knowledge. Several competitive events are available for you to participate in, like the discussion meet that some of you competed in on Monday. The prizes are quite nice as well. A brand new truck, a side-by-side, trips and/or cash are nice incentives. You are the heartbeat of progress. Your hands will sow seeds, your minds will innovate, and your voices will advocate for viable, sustainable, and a healthy future. May your journey be rich with purpose, girded with resilience, and filled with joy of making a difference. Tonight, I have the honor of fulfilling Florida Farm Bureau and AEST's commitment to Florida FFA. This check represents more than just a monetary value. It symbolizes our shared dedication for fostering agricultural excellence, and may it help to empower the next generation of leaders, innovators, farmers, and ranchers. May the fields of opportunity present you with a great bounty, and God bless each of you as you seek and serve Him. Thank you, Florida FFA.
President Smith, on behalf of the Florida FFA Association and over 60,000 members, we are beyond grateful for your commitment to these blue jackets. As our longest and largest supporter, our organization is where it is today because of your support. Florida FFA members and guests, please join me in thanking Florida Farm Bureau and AEST. Slide in. This year, we've taken lots of pictures marking big events and accomplishments during our year of service. You know, since we are at the biggest event of the year, I'm kind of surprised the paparazzi hasn't shown up yet.
Oh, Lord. You spoke too soon. Look who just showed up. Well, I can't think of a better stage to get some close-ups of the individuals that we are about to meet. While FFA members might take the spotlight the majority of the time, there is a full team of individuals with a burning passion for the FFA that truly makes the magic happen every single year. I think it's time they get the credit that they deserve.
The next group of supporters we are about to meet have maintained long-term roles of serving the Florida FFA Association. They serve through financial support and boots on the ground. Often they sponsor awards, leadership conferences, and countless other endeavors. They send judges, set up various events, and provide valuable insight to issues our organization faces. By investing their time and resources into us, they are investing in the future of agriculture. Because of their living to serve attitude, they are well deserving of receiving the Distinguished Service Citation. Please help me in welcoming this year's recipients to the stage.
The Distinguished Service Citation honorees are the Florida Farm Bureau Federation, the Florida State Fair, the Future Builders of America, Parksdale Farms Incorporated, Walpole, W&W Supply Company of Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, please help congratulate all of our Distinguished Service Citation Award recipients.
I'd like to thank the Academy for this opportunity.
Hunter, what are you doing?
I'm giving my acceptance speech.
Once again, man, not the Oscars. This is the time when our presidential candidates will give their speeches.
Oh. During this time, your 2024-2025 state presidential candidates will deliver their campaign speeches outlining their true passion and vision for our organization. These candidates have gone above and beyond and competed in several days' worth of interviews to earn the position that they are in right now. Their passion and dedication towards our organization is truly unmatched. Each year, a committee is tasked with slating the next group of students who will lead our organization through service as state officers. 2 individuals are selected as presidential candidates and are tasked with leading both our organization and their team. Florida FFA, let's hear your excitement for your state presidential candidates.
First, we have Gabby Howell from the Durant FFA chapter.
Hey, Florida FFA members, this is your captain speaking. Let's hop on the sailboat and travel back in time to the year 2017. 11-year-old Gabby, a newly dubbed 6th grader, walks into her advisor's classroom for her first ever forestry practice. She stops in her tracks when she's greeted with, "Hey, it's Carter's little sister." Now, I know this isn't a surprise to anyone because, let's face it, Carter and I look like identical twins. Although I knew this nickname was just a term of endearment, I couldn't help but be afraid of the fact that I might be cast into my brother's shadow. My name is Gabby Howell from the Durant FFA chapter in Area 5, and I spent so much of my FFA career fearing that I was less important and less notable than my brother, when truthfully, nobody thought that of me except for myself. I let the fear of being less important hold me back from being who I truly was, and it wasn't until my junior year that I realized I had cast myself into the shadows, not anybody else. There's a quote I came across recently that I think changes the narrative about being cast into the shadows, and it states, "It is only through the shadows that one comes to know the light." Often we think our differences and unique attributes are what hold us back, but in reality, they are what make us great. If we are willing to take the journey and find our differences, we can use our special qualities to make an impact on this organization and the world. Each of you in this room have something so special about you that is invaluable to this organization. This upcoming year, let's find our differences and use them for good. Whether you know what makes you unique or you're still finding that out, I am excited to be there with you every step of the way. Florida FFA, let's set sail from the shadows, because together we can be the light.
Next, we have Macy Jordan from the Malone FFA chapter.
In 1954, with just 1 second remaining, my grandfather, a third-generation farmer, shot the winning goal, making the Malone Tigers the varsity basketball state champions. For the tiny town of Malone, basketball isn't just a sport. It is the culture that built our legacy, a legacy of hard work, diligence, and pride in our community that holds true both on the court and on the farm. Hello, Florida FFA. My name is Macy Jordan from the Malone FFA chapter, and I have the distinguished honor of being one of your state presidential candidates. While the tradition of basketball did not get passed down to me, the values that were taught did. I come from a long line of hardworking individuals within agriculture and beyond. They instilled in me the idea that toil plus integrity equals success, essentially saying that in all of our dealings, if we work hard and are honest with each other, that we can accomplish whatever we put our minds to. I stand before you today hoping to continue that legacy by communicating my passions for the agriculture industry and this great organization, and by working to set the example for generations behind me. It's time we learn the value of developing our personal brand and the true impact we have on others. It's not about the trophies we have, but about the growth we see in our peers. Let us all remember this statement. When the game gets down to the wire, it's not whether you win or lose. It's how you play the game. That is what will determine the legacy that you leave. Florida FFA, are you ready to build your legacy?
Thank you, candidates. Delegates have the unique privilege in helping to select those who will lead our organization in the next year. As you consider the candidates you've met this week, make wise decisions that will prove fruitful for the continued success of Florida FFA. Once again, let's thank these candidates for their commitment to service for the upcoming year. Always loved about awards nights?
What's that?
The very interesting red carpet appearances. At the Oscars, Met Gala, and other events, celebrities and movie stars alike dress to the nines to stand out from the crowd. Often, these celebrities use imagery, accessories, art, and colors to symbolize a deeper message from their appearance. Like Lady Gaga, who wore a dress entirely made of meat scraps, or Jared Leto, who brought a clutch resembling his own face, and Katy Perry, who rocked a set of angel wings on the red carpet.
Those are definitely some outside-the-box fashion statements. Though when I think of iconic fashion choices, I think of the famous jumpsuits of Elvis Presley, the collection of custom hats worn by Lainey Wilson, or the old-school look of the king himself, George Strait.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Those are some pretty good looks. Just like celebrities, FFA members take pride in the FFA jackets they wear, and the colors blue and gold symbolize much for us. National Blue reminds us of our dedication and loyalty to our great nation, and corn gold symbolizes the importance of fighting for the agriculture industry that feeds, clothes, and shelters people worldwide. These colors were chosen on purpose and are still significant to FFA members and supporters alike. Our next group of VIPs will be receiving the Blue and Gold Award. The Blue and Gold Award is one of the highest honors presented by our organization. Its purpose is to recognize those who are helping in the advancement of agriculture education and other FFA programs.
The people you are about to meet have been carefully selected because they have gone above and beyond in showing us what it truly means to bleed blue and gold. Their contributions towards the further advancement of agricultural education are second to none. Florida FFA, please help us in welcoming your 2023-2024 Blue and Gold recipients.
This year's Blue and Gold honorees are Mr. Keith Bartholomew. Keith Bartholomew is the category manager for fresh meat at Publix supermarkets, where he has served for 28 years. With over 3 decades in the meat industry, Keith manages procurement and sale of fresh meat for Publix, ensuring quality and efficiency within the supply chain. Starting his career in the meat industry in 1992, Keith has dedicated to supporting all parts of animal agriculture. His expertise lies in understanding consumer needs and navigating the supply chain to benefit both the end consumer and farmers and ranchers alike. Since 2020, Keith has been an active member of the Florida FFA Sponsors Council, contributing to our mission and supporting the next generation of agricultural leaders. He has played a significant role in securing some major gifts and opening doors to new partnerships for Florida FFA. Keith, thank you for your outstanding support and work on our behalf. It is our honor to present you with the Blue and Gold Award. Miss Stacy Sims. Stacy Sims serves as the Chief Operating Officer for the Florida Farm Bureau Federation, our state's largest general agricultural member association and Florida FFA's longest-serving sponsor. She joined the Florida Farm Bureau family in 2009 and has had the opportunity to serve in multiple roles, including General Counsel and Director of Government and Community Affairs. Stacy has been a member of the Florida FFA Foundation Board of Trustees for more than 10 years and is currently serving as the chair for the Florida FFA Sponsors Council. Stacy's love for agricultural education began when she was an FFA member in the classroom, but her service to this organization has been a true testament to her love for the Blue Jacket. She has given countless hours in service and secured resources that have propelled Florida FFA forward. Stacy was also instrumental in helping establish the Florida FFA headquarters in Gainesville. Stacy, for your unwavering support and dedication to our organization, we are honored to present you with the coveted Blue and Gold Award. Dr. Sandra Tenbrook. Dr. Tenbrook has been an avid supporter of Florida FFA for many years. Throughout her career in the Animal Science program at the University of Florida, Dr. Tenbrook has worked hard to provide direction for our horse evaluation career development event as the event superintendent. With her help, Florida FFA established the first middle school level equine career development event of its kind in the country, and both the middle and high school horse evaluation CDEs have continued to grow in participation. Not only does she conduct rigorous and relevant CDEs for students to participate in, she works to make sure that our members are equipped with the skills that they need to succeed by offering judging and reasons workshops annually. For these reasons and many more, we thank Dr. Tenbrook for her service, and we are honored to present her with the Florida FFA Blue and Gold Award. Florida FFA, please help me congratulate all of our Blue and Gold Award recipients.
This moment in nature is brought to you by the Florida Cattlemen's Foundation, working to protect our natural wonders for future generations.
If we were at the Oscars tonight, the next individuals you are about to meet would be nominated in several categories, from Best Actor, Directing, Editing, and Best Picture. Their talents range far and wide, and the contributions they've made toward the success of Florida FFA are certainly Oscar-worthy. Those who receive the coveted honorary FFA degree have set a standard of greatness for our members to look up to. For their hard work and loyalty, we are excited to welcome them to honorary membership. At this time, I will invite your state president, Kaylee Ersman, back to the podium to begin the honorary degree ceremony.
It is always a pleasure to receive honorary members into the FFA. The purpose of this ceremony is to recognize from time to time the efforts of others made on our behalf. Madam Secretary, please read the section of the National Constitution which provides for honorary membership.
Honorary membership. Farmers, school superintendents, principals, members of boards of education, chapter advisors, teachers, staff members in agriculture education, business people, and others who are helping in the advancement of agriculture education and the FFA and who have rendered outstanding service may be elected to honorary membership by a majority vote of the members present at any regularly scheduled meeting or convention.
As parliamentarian, it is my duty to remind you that our organization was founded on democratic principles, and we look forward to your continued support in our organization.
I welcome you as friends of the FFA. It is my privilege as Sentinel to extend to each of you the symbolic hand clasp of friendship and brotherhood.
As a reporter, I'm pleased to inform you that the FFA is a national youth organization whose purpose is to develop young agricultural leaders. Welcome to membership.
Your contributions as a useful citizen in our democracy serves as an example for our members to follow. As treasurer, I welcome you to our organization.
The FFA needs counsel and guidance from recognized leaders. It is my pleasure as secretary to add your names to our roll of honorary members.
As vice president, I welcome you to the FFA. I would inform you that our members learn to appreciate the dignity of labor. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much.
On behalf of every member, I wish to say we are proud to have you as honorary members. May this affiliation prove valuable to all. I impress upon you that we look to you for counsel and guidance. It is because of the great respect we have for you that you have been elected to honorary membership. May we always cooperate for the benefit of all. I now confer upon you honorary membership into the Florida FFA Association. Mr. Secretary, will you introduce those who are to receive this honor?
Miss Keitha Bennett. Keitha Bennett's journey in the FFA began in the 6th grade, where her love for the organization was fostered by a dedicated agriculture teacher. It was that instruction, coupled with her high school advisor's encouragement, that set her path in motion to enter the classroom and prepare the next generation of leaders to serve the industry. Keitha spent 18 years in the classrooms, changing lives of her students in Polk County and helping them to foster skills that would prepare them for the future. In 2017, she joined the Florida Farm Bureau as the director of AEST, where she had supported agriculture teachers and students by building a robust industry certification process. She has served on the Florida FFA Association and Foundation boards, helped foster new connections with education and industry, worked tirelessly in support of the future opportunities for students in the Blue Jacket. Keitha, for your unwavering support and dedication to providing opportunities for Florida FFA members, we are honored to award you with the honorary state FFA degree. Representative Chuck Brannon. Representative Chuck Brannon has been a champion for FFA and agricultural education long before his time in the halls of the Florida House of Representatives. His love for agriculture began on his family farm in Makenleigh, Florida, where he grew up learning hard work, determination, and dedication at an early age. He was an active FFA member and went on to serve as the state FFA secretary in 1980 and 1981. After more than 30 years and a successful career in law enforcement, serving and protecting his community, Representative Brannon chose to continue his service to others and was elected to the Florida House of Representatives in 2018. Since his first election, he has been instrumental in advancing policies and priorities that support the advancement of FFA and agricultural education in Florida. Representative Brannon, for your countless hours of hard work, service to our industry, and deep love for the Blue Jacket, we are honored to bestow upon you the honorary state FFA degree. Mr. David Broski. Mr. Broski is the model of a supportive superintendent of schools and principal. When Mr. Broski was the principal of the Oakleaf High School and Middleburg High School, he never missed an FFA chapter banquet, state FFA convention, or cake auction. Mr. Broski also showed tremendous support when his FFA chapters hosted district and sub-district leadership development events. As Clay County Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Broski can often be found at the Clay County Agricultural Fair supporting FFA members in their livestock shows and sales. Mr. Broski fondly remembers wearing the blue jacket when he was in FFA and continues to support agriculture education in his role as the Clay County Superintendent of Schools. It is our great honor to welcome him to honorary membership. Dr. Daniel Cox. For well over 20 years, Dr. Daniel Cox was a great asset to FFA chapters throughout Volusia County and even the state of Florida. As a program specialist, he was a strong advocate for agricultural education throughout his district. He has been an active FACTE member and has always had the best interest of agriculture teachers and students at heart. Dr. Cox has also served many times as a judge at the sub-district, district, and state levels. His impact on FFA has been tremendous, and we are grateful for his service to our organization and its members. It is our pleasure to welcome him to honorary membership. Mr. Richard Gibbs. Mr. Gibbs is no stranger to the FFA. He has served in various capacities from the local to the state level for over 30 years. His involvement on the local level with the Tate FFA Rodeo Foundation has helped to raise over $600,000, with all of the proceeds benefiting students enrolled in agriculture as they travel to national and state conventions, career and leadership development events, and judging clinics. Mr. Gibbs has also served on the Florida FFA Foundation Board of Directors, where his passion was raising money through the Beast Feast fundraiser. Mr. Gibbs has a passion for the FFA and its members, and it is for these reasons and many more that we thank him for his service and welcome him to honorary membership. Miss Anna Jameson. Since 2016, Miss Jameson has been working to ensure that members of the Florida FFA Association have the opportunity to participate in a high-quality citrus CDE in her role as superintendent of the Citrus Career Development event. As the owner of Brightleaf Citrus Nursery, Ms. Jameson uses her vast knowledge of the citrus industry to collect and coordinate the collection of specimens needed for the event each year, including fruit, insects, diseases, and weeds. She has been instrumental in making sure that students are exposed to all aspects of the citrus industry during her time as superintendent. We are grateful for her service, and we are pleased to welcome Ms. Anna Jameson to honorary membership. Again, thank you to each of our recipients for your support, and congratulations on honorary membership. We look forward to a continued partnership with each of you.
Camera's cool and all, but what's the deal?
So I'm doing some B-roll for the movie we're producing, okay? I know we've made a lot of short films this year, but I think this one in the making has the potential to be a hit.
You know, I am kind of surprised that our state officer team hasn't been nominated for Best Picture with some of the videos we've taken this year. Take a look for yourself. No!
Whoa, what is that?
The Publix, there's an Olive Garden that we can walk to, there's this bistro that we can walk to, there's a Texas Roadhouse. Like, there's really, really good stuff. Music. Oh, it's Spencer. It's okay, Meg.
Okay, so maybe we haven't missed out on any nominations, but if you thought those clips were entertaining, this next act is sure to blow you away. Let's welcome Sadie Miller from the Brantford FFA chapter as our Session 4 talent.
So this is a song I wrote a couple weeks ago, and it'll be out on all streaming platforms very, very soon. The name of this song is Wrong Guys, Right Attention. Your mama taught you how to treat a lady and how to be a gentleman. But don't take it wrong when I tell you I don't want to be any more than friends. You buy me flowers and we talk for hours, but that don't seem to be enough. Trust me, you're cool and all, but there's one problem, and that one problem is just it's always the wrong guy showing the right attention, saying, baby, I promise I can show you what you're missing. I'm sorry, but you know it's true. I want nothing to do with you. I just gotta know why it's always the wrong guys with the right attention. You do it all right when you kiss me goodnight, but you don't sweep me off of my feet. No matter how hard you try, it just don't feel that right when you're sitting next to me. You plan all these date nights and tell me I look nice, and yeah, it's kind of flattering. But I'd like it better if you didn't wear sweaters and maybe stood 6'3". It's always the
How's everybody doing tonight? You may not know me, but my name is Jonathan McCullough, and I'm here to introduce somebody who really needs no introduction, and that's Makenleigh Bledsoe. Her hard work and infectious personality go ahead of her, and everybody who knows her loves her, and that goes for me too, her pastor and her friend. That's who I am. I get the awesome privilege of being Makenleigh's pastor, and you have no idea how much I miss seeing her sit on that front row every Sunday with her parents, Amanda and Brad. A preacher needs feedback to do good preaching, and I always get that from her. She's either crying or laughing or raising her hands in worship. Makenleigh's not a passive worshiper. She's passionate about what she does, and for a preacher, that makes it a little easier for me to preach. I miss her. Honestly, I know preachers can't get pushy, but I'm about over her being away. I also understand, though, that you can't keep one grounded who is born to fly, and so I've come to terms with the fact that it may be just a little bit longer before I get to see her every Sunday, Florida's national candidate and all. Just hurry up and get back to us. Can I be honest with y'all? I said y'all, we're at the FFA, right? All I want to do as a preacher is make impact. That's the whole drive of my life, and so I study and I pray and I counsel and I preach, but in my effort to make impact on Makenleigh, I've come to realize that she has made just as much impact on me. Makenleigh, you're going to do more than you could ever imagine, and you know why? Because he is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you could ask or think, and you let Jesus do the work. He always takes us farther than we go on our own.
Hi, I'm Presley, and growing up, I have always saw Makenleigh as my older sister. Between children's church with Miss Amanda, family trips, camping trips, and everything in between, she has always been such a great role model to look up to. She has always shined in everything she's done and accomplished. One thing about Makenleigh is that if she wants something, she works to achieve it. It has been so inspiring to see everything Makenleigh has done throughout our lifetime. Makenleigh, thank you for being the best role model to little me growing up and even to this day, except for your driving skills. If you know, you know. Always remember to keep our Lord and Savior first and your family second. Let everything you do be done through Christ. Always know that we are your biggest fans. I can't wait to see where God leads you through this next chapter of your life. As bad as we want you home, I hope I can see you in a national blue jacket in Indy. I love you so much.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Larkin Williams, and I was the 2023-2024 Wyoming FFA State President. Although this bears very little weight to all of you in the great state of Florida, it was one of the greatest privileges of my life because I got to meet Makenleigh Bledsoe. Makenleigh is the epitome of light. I got the privilege to not only meet her and serve with her this year, but I also got the privilege to watch her change not only my life, but the life of every person she interacted with. When I think of Mac, I think of her smile that lights up any room, her laughter that is truly the sound of joy, her attitude that lifts everyone around her up, her presence that drives away negativity, and her love for FFA, her dogs, Silo and Finn, her family, friends, and Jesus. Words cannot describe how thankful I am for the countless hours Makenleigh and I have spent together, whether that was on a bus in the middle of Australia, at conventions and conferences across the nation, or on FaceTime. It truly has been the honor of my life to know and love Makenleigh Bledsoe, and I'm so thankful that I get to share her with you, Florida FFA.
Hi, I'm Lana Rowell. I couldn't be prouder to introduce someone truly exceptional, a person whose journey I've had the honor of witnessing from the very beginning. Picture this, a third grade classroom, a little girl with the longest name I've ever written on a nameplate. From the moment she walked into my classroom, it was evident that Makenleigh possessed a personality that filled a room. You see, we began our adventure when Mac was only 8 years old and I was her third grade teacher. She was the kind of student who never met a stranger. Mac is like the little Google Maps man. You could literally pick her up and drop her anywhere on the map and she would instantly make a friend and be happy. Makenleigh has this remarkable ability to connect with people and spread joy wherever she goes. I later became her student government advisor and she my president. A natural giver and helper, she always put others before herself, displaying a maturity and a compassion beyond her age. Who else could turn a Celine Dion song into a country song? Calling All the Monsters into an opera? Who else would dress up as Michael Jackson, wig, glove, and all, and dance to Billie Jean for an election? Only Mac. But beyond all of her achievements and talents, what truly touches my heart is the bond we formed over the years. From elementary student to SGA president to one of my own, Makenleigh has become not just a student, but a cherished member of my extended family. It's our honor to introduce
my homie,
my older sister, and my best friend,
and my teacher's pet, and your Area 1 State Vice President, Makenleigh Bledsoe, as she delivers her retiring address, Just Sing Anyway.
If I'm only here to tell you one story, it's that God can work anything for good. The way that He writes it is glory to glory, page for page, no matter how it looks. If you need a highway through the sea, your mountain to be moved, He did it for me. He can do it for you. He's a God of endless miracles. Ain't nothing He can't do. He did it for me. He can do it for you. I know you've been asking, hoping and praying that somehow He can make the wrong things right. Heaven's been listening, something is changing, so let me be the first to testify. Yeah, if you need a highway through the sea.
If you were to ask my parents what 2-year-old Makenleigh was like, they would tell you about my insatiable curiosity and knack for mischief. In fact, I was so curious that I even stuck my face up to a truck muffler just to look inside. If you were to ask my parents about 3-year-old Makenleigh, they would tell you about my bottomless pit of a stomach. But let's be honest, not much has really changed since then. Food is still my love language. But let's turn the spotlight to 5-year-old Makenleigh. My parents would probably tell you about my early career as a songwriter and performer. Yep, you heard that right. I was belting out original tunes for my captive audience, aka my family. Here, check it out for yourself. You see, I've always had this thing for music and a deep-seated love for singing. But let me tell you about this one story when I was 10. So picture little old me, decked out in a smock church dress, hairstyled in a side ponytail, of course, and sporting a bow the size of Texas. Somehow, I get roped into singing at a Sunday evening singing. Now, for those of you who don't know where I come from, a Sunday evening singing is where churches from throughout the community come together to sing hymns and worship songs. So, they asked me to sing a solo. And being the brave soul that I am, I reply, sure, yeah, I'd love to. But the minute those words leave my mouth, I'm feeling a wave of regret crashing over me. You see, at the time, I was used to singing in front of maybe 20 or so people at my little Baptist church in Brownsdale, Florida, so 10 times the amount was quite the adjustment. I remember going straight to my Pawpaw Jimmy's house and practically hyperventilating, explaining to him how scared and nervous I was. Pawpaw Jimmy looked down at me, and with a smile, he said, "Kenny Ann, you're fine, just sing anyways." So, what did I do that afternoon? 10-year-old Makenleigh chose to just sing anyways. Growing up, my Pawpaw Jimmy was without a doubt the person I looked up to the most when I was young. Not to mention, he spoiled me rotten. I was the only granddaughter, and I was the oldest, so the bond that we had was like no other. Pawpaw made sure that whenever I came over to his house on the weekends, that the pantry was full of my favorite snacks, gummies and cashews, of course, that the fridge had a 12-pack of grape soda, and that there was a brand new tub of Bluebell Dutch chocolate ice cream with my name all over it. And not once did he ever forget. He never did. If there was a football game I was cheering at, he was there and cheering me on. Birthday party? Of course, he wouldn't miss it for the world. Softball game? Oh, he was there and yelling louder than anyone else in the stands, whether he knew what he was talking about or not. And not once did he ever let me down. You know, my Pawpaw Jimmy had a lot of people he was close to, and he had a lot of friends, but I believe his greatest role was found as my Pawpaw. He was my biggest hero and the person I could go to for absolutely anything. However, as a 14-year-old girl, I did not recognize the extent of his mental health struggles. On February 16th of my 8th grade year, a call came in reporting him missing. Initially, we didn't really give it much thought, assuming he was at his hunting club or had even taken his Polaris out for a ride in the woods. But some time passes by, and we receive a second phone call. What we didn't know at the time was that this phone call would forever change our lives. The news was that they did find my Pawpaw Jimmy, but he was dead and had committed suicide. As the news sinks in, questions begin to fill my mind. Why would he do this? What am I going to do? What is my family going to do? What are people at school going to say? How am I ever going to get over this tragedy? As these questions begin to fill my mind, it leaves me feeling like I'm trapped in this, a raging storm that I called life. This was my normal for years. I was miserable. I became friends with people who were no good to me in hopes of finding joy, but I failed. I became a people pleaser, doing things to try and please others, but I failed at finding happiness. I failed so many times that I truly began to believe that I was a failure. I lived like this for years in the midst of a storm. A few years go by, and now it's my junior year. I come home from school after a long day and lay on the couch, and as I begin to scroll through my Pinterest feed, I come across a quote. Life's greatest challenges are hidden treasures. What? Life's greatest challenges are hidden treasures? How is this even possible? Because when I think of treasure, I think of gems, money, diamonds, and mansions, not grief and pain. Well, it had been 3 years since the passing of my Pawpaw. My heart was still bitter and hurt. I opened up the camera roll on my phone to find pictures of my Pawpaw because as time is passing on, I'm slowly forgetting what he looks like, and I truly miss him more than ever before. I opened up my camera roll to find a picture from 2005 of him beaming as he cradles me just after my birth in the hospital. And then there's the picture of him smiling so big, holding me in front of Disney's Magic Kingdom.
And of course, the picture of him, my Nana, and me aboard a cruise ship when life was nothing but simple. Lost in this archive of cherished moments, I come across a video. Among similar of hundreds recordings, this one was different. It was from when I was 10, at a Sunday evening singing. Suddenly, my tears stop, and they are replaced with a smile. It's as if my pawpaw's voice echoes in my mind, urging me, Kenny Ann, you're fine. Just sing anyways. That's when it hit me. That's when I realized that all I had to do was sing. Sing in the midst of my storm that had held me captive for far too long. Now you may be asking yourself, Makenleigh, what does that even mean? What does it even mean to sing in the midst of chaos and trial? Well, you see, in the Bible, there's a story of a man named Paul and his best friend Silas who were placed in prison despite their innocence. Before being placed in their prison cell, they faced mockery, beatings, and chains in a dark dungeon. However, they didn't let their circumstances dampen their spirits. No. Instead, they sang praises to God, honoring him and thanking Jesus for all he had done for them, even from the confines of a prison cell. Their joy wasn't dictated by their situation. Their praise was genuine, acknowledging that God will use storms for something better. When I found myself singing in the midst of my storm, something changed within me. It affirmed my belief in God's existence. I turned to him at my lowest point and he comforted me. When I found myself in the middle of this storm and my heart was broken, he helped me out of the storm. Since then, I have been able to accept difficult answers, trusting that God will use my sufferings to transform me and help guide others towards him. I've realized that life's greatest challenges are hidden treasures because they serve as direct avenues to draw us closer to Jesus. About a year ago, my pastor, Brother John, said something in a sermon that really resonated with me. He said, we see life as a series of sunsets and sunrises. When the sun rises, we see it and we feel the warmth and we know it's there. But when the sun sets and we don't see it and don't feel the warmth, we get discouraged. What he meant by this is that it's easy to praise Jesus when we find ourselves in the sunrises where things are bright and positive, when we get the long-awaited promise or win the state contest or achieve one of our long-term goals, it's easy to be thankful then. But when we find ourselves in the sunsets, in the storms where things feel miserable, our minds become filled with untrue thoughts. Thoughts of, I'm not good enough. I don't deserve to be happy. My past is horrible. I'm not worthy of his grace or his love. It's a never-ending trap that the devil delights in putting us through. However, Jesus tells us otherwise. Jesus says, you are worthy. You do deserve to be happy. Your past, it doesn't matter. You are my child. But sadly, we believe the lies from Satan over the truth spoken by the very creator of this world. Though we can't avoid our storms and we can't control our storms, we can choose to just sing anyways. God's love for us is boundless. When we find ourselves in times of despair, it's easy to think that he's not there. But in those moments of despair, he cannot be more present. He is not distant, cold, or ignorant to what is going on in your life right now. In fact, his love for us is so profound that he even sent his perfect son to die on a cross for both you and for me. That is real love. Psalms 126:5 says, they that sow in tears shall reap
in joy. What this means is that we can trust Jesus even with our tears. When we sow something, it means we give it away and wait for the harvest. As we sow our tears, even when it's costly, we can trust that God is going to use us for something good. That something good for me was my salvation in this blue jacket. Throughout my year, I have had the honor of meeting with FFA members across this great nation. While I have shared a lot of remarkable moments of joy, I've also heard the struggles that many of you face every single day. I've talked with FFA members who have lost family members or even friends to suicide, or FFA members who struggle from mental issues themselves. These conversations of heartfelt honesty have truly opened my eyes to the mental health struggles that our communities are facing today. Friends, we need to be there for our people. Show up and show some grace and help them sing through their storms. If you find yourself in the midst of a storm, know this: your life holds purpose. And if you will choose to wake up and sing through your storm, God will turn that pain into joy. I am blessed to have served alongside 6 of the most incredible people I have ever met in my entire life. People who helped me to sing through my storms. Kaylee, Jenna, Hunter, Spencer, and Mackenzie. My people who help me consistently sing through my storms. Find your people who help you sing and be that source of strength for someone else. There's no way to stop our storms, but we can always choose to just sing anyways. I mean, look around. We are some blessed people. This blue corduroy jacket is more than just that. It's a symbol of hope and a reason that we should choose to just sing anyways. The storm begins to fade when we begin to look through our brokenness to find something to sing about. I encourage you to live your life in the sunrises. Appreciate the blessings in your life and confide in Jesus' goodness. Florida FFA, it's time to let your praises roar and just sing anyways. I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm. Louder and louder, you're gonna hear my praises roar. Up from the ashes, hope will arise. Death is defeated, the King is alive.
Makenleigh, I can still recall your unwavering support towards everyone you came in contact with at screening last year, and it's safe to say that nothing has changed since. You never cease to lighten the situation, no matter the circumstances. Your authenticity and kind heart makes you the kind of person that each of us can consult whenever we need to talk to someone. I think I can speak for everyone when I say that we cannot imagine our team without you. You will always be our queen bee. It is said that a sweet friendship refreshes the soul. While we started as 7, now we end as 1. Some might call this chapter our end, but let today mark where a lifetime of friendship begins. Love Mackenzie, Emma, Spencer, Kaylee, Jenna, and Hunter. Florida FFA, your Area 1 State Vice President, Miss Makenleigh Bledsoe.
watching over me. Remember the time I rode my truck and you were there when I woke up. You walked me home, yeah, you led me home, but hey, what's past is past. Oh, nothing in this world lasts. Hey, aren't those four lanes goodbye? Tomorrow's another day. You know time. Look at me now, look at me now. I'm riding on a cloud. My vibe is hitting loud. Tearing it down, shaking the ground. You've been waiting for it now. The clock is counting down. Here we come, bang the drum. You don't have to wait. We're back, we're back. Look at me now, look at me now. I'm where you wanna be, lifetime guarantee. Showing them how, feeling the wow. A tiger in the street, exotic energy. Roaring the crowd, roaring the crowd. Here we come, bang the drum. You don't have to wait, we're back, we're back. Get out of your basement, get out on the pavement. Let's all get together, cause together's amazing. The moment is waiting, the feeling we're chasing. It's right there in front of us, it's there for the taking.
At the end of every award ceremony, the red carpet is rolled away, not to be seen again for another year. While winning an Oscar would look pretty good on a resume, one trophy and instant fame doesn't determine the legacy that an actor, actress, or other celebrity leaves. That is because the red carpet only lasts for one night, and a legacy lasts forever.
There are some individuals whose legacy continues to live on and whose achievements are so great that they have their name etched into a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, permanently marking their spot in entertainment history for all to see. Actors like John Wayne, Tom Hanks, and Matthew McConaughey, to name a few.
And others like Audrey Hepburn, Viola Davis, and Emma Stone have secured both an Oscar and their place in Hollywood's permanent red carpet. Their dedication to their craft has set them apart from all others.
But let's be honest, we don't have to go all the way to Hollywood to see stars like that. We have some with us right here in the building. Much like our stars of, yeah, go ahead. Much like our stars of Hollywood, our stars of Florida have put in the effort to pave the way for our organization as well as the future of our industry. These finalists have been selected based on their outstanding supervised agricultural experiences and are truly the best of the best.
And just like the stars of Florida, the stars of Hollywood, the stars of Florida will forever have their names marked in the history of our great organization. Back in April, a committee had the opportunity to tour the SAE projects of our finalists as they showcase their expertise in areas ranging from commercial beef operations to aquaculture and agri-science research. Getting to see the hard work of these individuals proves their drives toward success and a bright future for our agriculture industry. Let's take a look at what we were able to see during the 2024 Florida Star Tour.
excited to showcase the time and effort that each of these exceptional students have invested into their SAE projects. Florida FFA and the agricultural industry as a whole have been made better by them and their dedication towards continuous improvement. As we honor our stars tonight, we would like to take the time to thank the people who have helped to mentor and support our finalists, parents, and advisors. Let's give them a round of applause. Tonight, we would also like to thank those businesses and individuals who have contributed to the personal growth pathway. Without these generous contributions, we would not be able to recognize our members for their outstanding achievements. At this time, please direct your attention to the center of your program to find a complete listing of these sponsors.
Florida FFA, let's hear your excitement to meet the stars of Florida. Our first group of stars are the State Star Discovery Degree candidates. Even with a short time in FFA, they have established new skills and produced excellent results. They have used what they've learned in their middle school agriculture classes and utilized that knowledge to build a strong foundation for their supervised agricultural experiences. Let's meet the finalists for our State Star Discovery Degree Award.
The candidates for the State Star Discovery Award are Wyatt Watson, Swanee Middle; Hayden Henderson, Trenton Middle; Kelsey Wilkerson, Trenton Middle; Colby Holcomb, Turkey Creek Middle. And your 2024 State Star Discovery winner is Hayden Henderson of the Trenton Middle FFA chapter.
Hayden Henderson's SAE project is rooted in his employment at Alliance Dairy. Growing up immersed in the daily operations, Hayden became a paid employee in 2020. His early responsibilities included herding cows to the milking parlor, cleaning stalls, and maintaining water troughs. From 2020 to 2022, Hayden worked with the heifer crew, managing over 4,000 heifers. He diligently sprayed the heifers for flies, moved feed bunks, and washed water troughs. In summer of 2023, he expanded his skills by feeding baby calves and operating the tractor to maintain barn cleanliness. Recently, Hayden transitioned to working in the hospital barn alongside the farm veterinarian. He now assists in checking fresh cows post-calving, drawing blood, and collecting milk samples for lab tests. His progression and responsibilities highlights his growing expertise and dedication. His goal was to gain experience in every department at Alliance Dairies, preparing him to eventually take over the family operation. His commitment to agriculture and his family's legacy is evident in his work ethic and continuous learning. Hayden is a member of the Trenton Middle FFA chapter, and his advisor is Aaron Backley. Congratulations, Hayden, on being named the 2024 State Star Discovery winner.
Next, we will recognize the FFA members who have been named finalists for the Star Green Hand degree. These 4 individuals have gone above and beyond the minimum and proved their dedication towards the improvement of themselves, their projects, and the agricultural industry. These finalists have a shining bright future ahead of them, and we are so excited to acknowledge their achievements. Tonight's candidates for the Star Green Hand Award are
Addison Burns, Bell; Justin Davis, DeLand; Abigail Whitehead, Dixie; Reagan Hancock, Williston. And your 2024 State Star Green Hand is Justin Davis of the DeLand FFA chapter.
Justin Davis's SAE projects encompass decorative cut foliage, registered Brahman cattle, custom-fed beef, and backgrounding calves. His first SAE involved decorative cut foliage, utilizing a test plot of olive trees planted by his grandfather. While the trees didn't produce fruit, Justin successfully sold the olive cuttings as decorations for weddings and events. He maintains the grove by conducting soil tests, applying pesticides and fertilizers, and following best management practices. Justin's custom-fed beef project generates the most revenue as he uses marketing strategies like source-verified, grass-fed, and hormone-free beef. His responsibilities include feeding livestock, administering vaccines, formulating feed rations, and scheduling processing dates. He also manages a herd of registered Brahman cattle, selling registered calves and F1s for his fed beef program. His latest SAE is background in calves, where he rehabilitates weak or sick calves for resale. He is a member of the DeLand FFA chapter, and his advisor is Brett Radner. Congratulations, Justin, on being named the 2024 State Star Green Hand winner.
Y'all can exit off that stage. Now it is time to introduce you to those FFA members who have been named a finalist for the State Star Chapter degree. These individuals have set their sights high and are constantly improving upon and perfecting their supervised agricultural experience programs. These individuals have a number of tools in their tool belt and have lots of room to grow and improve upon their skill sets. Let's meet the finalists.
Your State Star Chapter degree finalists are Elena Thomas, Bell; Arrington Grant, Chiefland; Paige Cruz, Fort Pierce Westwood; Isabella Carrillo, Okeechobee Brahmin. And your 2024 State Star Chapter degree winner is Isabella Carrillo of the Okeechobee Brahmin FFA Chapter.
Isabella Carrillo's passion for agriculture began with equine. Since the age of 2, Isabella has owned and cared for horses. At the peak of her equine operation, she managed 27 horses, showing them nationwide, breeding, and selling them. As her interest shifted towards beef cattle, she downsized her equine operation to focus more on her growing cattle herd. Today, her primary focus is on her beef entrepreneurship project, which includes managing 2 herds of Brangus cattle comprising of 40 head. Isabella operates a cow-calf herd and raises replacement bulls and heifers. She has integrated a genetic component into her operation, selling semen and embryos to others in the industry. Additionally, she has successfully raised a market steer from her herd. Isabella's poultry project involves 30 Plymouth and Rhode Island red hens, along with a rooster and 5 show chickens. She sells both eggs and meat and is embarking on her first year showing black Japanese bantams. Isabella is a member of the Okeechobee Brahmin FFA chapter, and her advisor is Jared Prescott. Congratulations, Isabella, on being named the 2024 State Star Chapter winner.
The Star in Agribusiness recognizes FFA members who have used their entrepreneurial drive and leadership skills to develop their own agriculture-related business. Let's meet the finalists.
The State Star in Agribusiness finalists are Braylee Hines, Bell; Chloe Anderson, Bradford; Tyler Clements, Dean Bozeman; Gabe Mitchell, Dixie. And your 2024 State Star in Agribusiness is Braylee Hines of the Bell FFA chapter.
Braylee Hines owns and operates Shingle Bay Osceolas, offering guided turkey hunts in Florida. Originally founded by her pappy to diversify their farm operations, Braylee took over the business in 2018. She provides 3-day hunts for Osceola turkeys in several counties, emphasizing the unique opportunity to hunt this subspecies. Braley's responsibilities involve operating vehicles, managing game cameras and feeders, setting up blinds, and guiding experienced hunters. She handles all of the bookings, communications, and logistical arrangements, ensuring a smooth and successful hunting season each year. She has also worked on branding the business on social media to attract new customers by highlighting the 90% success rate that their hunts have. Braley contributes the success of their hunts to her close attention to the wildlife management efforts. Braley's dedication to conservation and connecting the public to agricultural lands through recreational hunts reflects her deep appreciation for natural resources. Braley is a member of the Bell FFA chapter, and her advisor is Brett Wasden. Congratulations, Braley, on being named the 2024 State Star in Agribusiness.
The title State Star in Agricultural Placement is awarded to one FFA member who has proven their work ethic and loyalty to their employer. These individuals have demonstrated leadership both on and off of the job site. They have logged countless hours and continue to set themselves apart. Let's meet our finalists for the State Star in Agricultural Placement.
This year's finalists are Brody Ellis, Chiefland; Peyton Gay, Dean Bozeman; Afrifa Amoa Mensa, Mount Dora; Rebecca Holcomb, North Marion. And the winner is Peyton Gay of the Dean Bozeman FFA chapter.
Peyton Gay is the avian caretaker at Pines and Pastures Farm, a 255-acre sanctuary for over 50 species of animals. He is currently devoted to the Sebastopol geese, which is a species of geese listed as threatened by the American Livestock Breeds Conservatory. In 2019, the sanctuary received 11 goslings to provide a permanent home for them in hopes of increasing their population. Peyton is responsible for their well-being, including their shelter and enclosures. He ensures that once they lay eggs, they are quickly collected and placed in an incubator at a proper temperature. Peyton has increased the hatch rate by upgrading to incubators that are equipped with automatic turners and humidifiers to ensure optimal environment for the eggs. Every 5 years, the Livestock Conservatory conducts a census where he will report his data in hopes that the species can be moved off the threatened list. Peyton is a member of the Dean Bozeman FFA chapter, and his advisor is Becky Peltonen. Congratulations on being named the 2024 State Star in Agricultural Placement.
The next individuals have spent countless hours conducting research and experimentation in the area of agriscience. The State Star and Agriscience finalists have been involved in every step of their experiments, from the collection of data to the publicizing of the results. It's time to meet the finalists.
This year's finalists are Gloria Gillum, Brantford; Victoria Justiniano, Orlando Colonial. And your 2024 State Star in Agriscience is Gloria Gillum of the Brantford FFA chapter.
Gloria Gillum has conducted a research project titled How Do Moon Phases Affect Calving Rates in Dairy Cattle? Over a span of 2 years, she meticulously collected and analyzed data on moon phases, calving rates, temperature variations, sea pressure, and precipitation. Her study aimed to provide dairy farmers with insights to predict peak calving periods, optimizing workforce allocation and farm management strategies. Through diligent data collection, organization, and a rigorous analysis, Gloria discovered a significant correlation. More calves are born during full moons compared to other lunar phases. Her findings were eagerly adopted by local dairy farms, where her research has proven instrumental in refining daily operational decisions. By identifying peak calving times linked to lunar phases, Gloria's work has empowered farmers to streamline staffing and resource allocation, enhancing efficiency and reducing unnecessary costs. She is a member of the Branford FFA chapter, and her advisor is Stacy Young. Congratulations, Gloria, on being named the 2024 State Star in Agri-Science.
All of these stars have proven that they are the best of the best. But this next group is sure to wow you. Their outstanding efforts have given them the opportunity to be considered for Florida FFA's longest standing award, the State Star Farmer. This award is given to one FFA member who has the strongest production SAE in the state of Florida. All of these finalists have played their part in strengthening agriculture and will continue to do so in whatever role they are in. Ladies and gentlemen, your State Star Farmer finalists.
Hayden Fowler, DeLand. Gabe Mitchell, Dixie. Gabby Howell, Durant. Rebecca Holcomb, North Marion. And the 2024 Florida FFA State Star Farmer is Gabe Mitchell of the Dixie FFA chapter.
Gabe Mitchell is a third-generation cattle farmer that began his beef supervised agricultural experience in 2017. His daily duties include feeding hay and protein supplements, checking water troughs, fence lines, and mineral feeders. Gabe manages the feeding program of their cow-calf operation. He also assists in processing the calves and deworming and vaccinating the herd. Over the years, he has started to make management decisions on genetics they use for their purebred and commercial cattle. He has grown his personal cattle herd from 3 cows in 2017 to 12 cows and heifers today. In 2021, Gabe began his welding and fabrication SAE project. He started to fabricate items such as brands, stall gates, feed racks, a goat exercising chariot, and an ATV calf catcher. He plans to complete his welding certification this year so that he can continue to expand Mitchell manufacturing in the future. Gabe is a member of the Dixie FFA chapter, and his advisor is Miss Cynthia Mitchell. Congratulations, Gabe, on being named the 2024 State Star Farmer.
Florida FFA, please join me in congratulating the FFA members standing here on this stage, your stars of Florida. The awards our finalists received tonight were made possible by the generous support of our Personal Growth Pathway sponsors. Let's show our appreciation once more for these businesses and individuals.
Earlier this evening, a private reception was held for our Stars of Florida finalists, their families, and their advisors. 4 $500 scholarships were presented on behalf of the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. These scholarships were awarded to 4 finalists in the areas of Agri-Science, State Star in Agribusiness, Agricultural Placement, and State Star Farmer. This year's recipients were Afrifa Amoa-Mensah, Peyton Gay, Victoria Justianano, and Gabe Mitchell. Please help me congratulate these members.
Well, Hunter, It's been a long night. From stellar performances to VIP lists to the Walk of Fame, we have definitely walked among some greats tonight. We have recognized and heard from those who have continuously supported our organization, the Florida FFA Foundation Board of Trustees and Sponsors Council, the Distinguished Service Recipients, Blue and Gold recipients, and honorary degree recipients.
And we cannot forget about the young leaders who have displayed their passion for our organization, including our state presidential candidates, Makenleigh Bledsoe with her retiring address, and our Stars of Florida. Let's give it up for all of our award recipients tonight. Well, I think it's safe to say that though the Oscars is a pretty cool event, the real party is right here at the 96th Annual Florida FFA State Convention and Expo. What do y'all say? We hope you have had as good of a time as we have awarding these recipients tonight.
We are especially thankful for the support of the Florida Cattlemen's Foundation, our special session sponsor. Let's show them our appreciation once more. This has certainly been a production, and we hope you enjoyed watching the 4th General Session of the 96th Florida FFA State Convention and Expo.
FFA members, the future starts now. Starting today will allow us to cultivate a better tomorrow. Creating positive change starts with you. You have the power to act. You can set your goals into motion. You can take that first step. There is no better time than right now. Florida FFA, let's get started.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Yeah.
Lose control of body and soul. Don't move too fast, people just take it slow. Don't get ahead, just jump into it. Y'all hear about it? The P's will do it. Get started, get stupid. Don't worry about it, people will walk you through it step by step like an infant new kid. Inch by inch with a new solution. Transmit hits with no delusion.
Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
Yes, Madam President, I do. Proficiency and Star Award finalists and winners can pick up their award checks beginning tomorrow morning from convention registration. Also, don't forget about the mega party tomorrow night. Be sure to get your tickets today at the registration counter. That is all, Madam President.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this session? We are about to adjourn the 4th General Session of the 96th Florida FFA State Convention and Expo. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, join me in a salute to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I now declare this session adjourned.
Stars were made for shining. I'm going to find that light. I'm looking for the silver lining. So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning. Currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Made for hiding, won't sleep till I find the light. I'm looking for the silver lining, gonna give my soul shine. Hard times are made for fighting. mind and the fire inside of me. I'll find out till the